I wanted to share a page of my life, one that contains a brief summary of the events and happenings that led me to this slow and rural lifestyle. Much of my life is the way that it is now because of my lifelong innate pull towards nature, away from the noise and from the people. I've often wondered what it was about towering mountains, lush forests, and pristine lakes that I yearned for. I prefer these places over cities any day. In fact, when I backpacked around the world for a year a few years ago, the only time I was in a big city was if the plane landed in one. Out of the 30-some countries that I visited on that trip, I think the only big city I intentionally visited was Rome. I lasted in Venice for 1 hour, in which I sat on a dock with a 2-liter tub of ice cream before taking the first train out. So I planted a whole bunch of calendula in the early spring because I wanted to make some ointment because calendula is really good for a lot of different skin conditions, and I don't think I'm going to be able to because this is just the 4th flower and I need a lot of the flowers to make the calendula oil to make into an ointment. So I think I'll try to plan a little bit better next year and plant them earlier and all at the same time. For as long as I could remember, I've gravitated towards nature. As a child, one of my favorite outdoor activities was having a campfire. I'm definitely sure that there is a genetic component involved because 2 of my brothers shared the same passion for campfires and nature. We'd make these elaborate Jenga-like tower fire structures together. Some of my fondest memories are from those days of sitting by the campfire at night, staring wide-eyed into the bright flames, listening to the wood crackling our worries away, with fireflies dancing all around us. As I grew up, there was less time. Those carefree moments were replaced with responsibilities, jobs, and studies. Life carried on this way until my last year of university. All those years of neglecting nature's calls had caught up to my soul. The day after my last university exam, I got on a plane with a backpack and set off to travel the world for 1 year. This time, the only goal was to climb as many mountains as possible. This was the start of relearning what was most important to me. This have less, travel more lifestyle carried on for a few years. I met the love of my life in the mountains of Italy. I discovered the love of my soul cycling through America and the Alps. These were the best years of my life, and I vowed that one day, living in nature would become a constant in my life. It would be my lifestyle, not just consist of a part of it. Eventually, we decided to come home and get jobs and responsibilities and so on again. At this point, I dove back full force into hustle culture. At one point, I was working 4 jobs. I completely lost sight of the happiness that I had already discovered. I developed pressure headaches, and the stress of all the work in addition to domestic chores became overwhelming. And all for what? Events in the world over the last year and a half caused me to completely reevaluate the direction of my life. We had plans to move into a cabin in the woods in the future, but why were we delaying? The worse things got, the more we pondered about and dissected this question, to the point where we just ran out of excuses. And so began the lifestyle change that had been in the background of my mind for years. The journey to a simple life had begun. And so I find myself here, gardening my days away, getting unreasonably excited about tiny bell pepper plants, and learning how to pickle cucumbers. Please don't romanticize this, though. This lifestyle does come with its own set of stresses and challenges. But at least my soul is close to home, to the sounds of the wind blowing through the trees, to the smells of pine and juniper, and to the fickle will of nature. So it's really hot. It's been a few days since I trimmed the bottoms of my tomatoes and I stuck them in this can, a watering can with water, which has allowed them to stay alive and grow little tiny roots from the main stalk. And I just felt so bad. I didn't want to throw them out because it's basically a whole new tomato plant. So I just where is it? Right behind me here. I planted 6 of them into a little open patch, and this patch is just so disorganized. You can see it there. This will be something next year. Next year I'm gonna build something like that over here, or there's gonna be a greenhouse. It's just been so chaotic. There's so much to do. We're planning a wedding. It's so much at once that I just don't have enough time in the day. I should have mowed the lawn like 5 days ago. I just wanted to show you what I did with those guys.